you know, Doc may have taken a plea, and the prosecutor really likes pleas, but ain't no game. Susie ain't going to be taking a plea. I don't think so. I've been watching her a little bit, and I know her moves. Well, I have no idea which direction she's going, but I know she's going to fight it out. Is that right, Frankie? Is that what you get?
Yeah, this is what I get from her. I mean, she's already invested a few years into this fight already. Yeah, she's been harassed by them for a hot minute already.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
and this is...
Yeah, her home's on the line. You know, her freedom's on the line, too. You know, and but yeah, she has a few sideways angles that I don't think the state is prepared to handle.
I know. Well, they don't know they kind of think they know what the sideways angles are. Maybe they have a little bit of theory into the sideways angles. And you want to talk a little bit about them? Let's talk about the interesting part of the show. So we're going through this whole thing, and before we go to the envelopes, let's talk about the server. Remember last time the prosecuting attorney? Go ahead, you tell the story.
Okay, so yeah, there is that at the beginning of the when Susie's, because these are two separate trials. Although there was an attempt for the prosecutor to try to lump the cases together, but even he said that attempt was probably moot anyway. But Susie and Doc were being tried on two separate cases or two separate causes or trials, however they label them. And anyway, so her lawyer, Susie's lawyer, begins by saying that she cannot get into the secured server of the state to look at the evidence that they have against her client. She claims that she has called. She called the number on there. She has been in contact to try to get she even got a different password from my understanding, and she was still unable to access the site. Even after, and see, her lawyer likes to remind people that in the first time I think it was June 30th was the first time. Yeah, June 30th was the first time at the arraignment. Susie's lawyer wasn't present, so she wasn't there to put in...
Right, to have that discussion.
Right, she wasn't there to put in motions of discoveries and things like that.
God, the server was such a brilliant move by the prosecuting attorney because in the beginning of the trial, during the pre-trial, he goes ahead and he says, well, I have a printout of all the relevant documents. And, well, my general disclosure policy is I disclose everything, but the state prosecutor and the county prosecutor and, the city prosecutor, the county staff, they don't necessarily give you all the documents, only what they have deemed relevant. So the prosecutor goes ahead and prints these out, and he gives it to Doc's lawyer and says, well, we'll make it available to Susie's lawyer. And but then the judge called exception to that. He says, well, why are you putting it up on a server? Why don't you just print it out and get it to them? Well, they're not relevant, but we're going to send an email to them, and they'll be able to log in and do this and this and this. And what I got, Frankie, was a little bit different than what you got. It sounded to me, and God, I wish they'd, make these important cases. I wish there was a record of it. I wish they'd allow us to see it. And like the city council meetings, they'll put the meeting up so we can listen to the audio and do this and that. But what I got was, well, first of all, the prosecutor says, well, she might have tried logging on, but she didn't call the help desk number that was including in the email. And we're waiting for a call. What'd she do? She called me, left a message for me. She didn't follow any instructions, but she didn't do it until a couple days before the actual event. So, I don't know. There's something different with that, and I'm going to have to side with the prosecuting attorney. But it was brilliant move for him to hide the, quote, non-relevant documents, which may contain good information. But when you're dealing with simulating a court document, what are you saying? This thing said the Republic of Texas. It didn't say the state of Texas. It didn't say the United States of America. It was a Republic of Texas document, period. Now, what they got Doc to do was, well, they showed him a pair of pink, slippers and said, these are Nike Reeboks. And you sign the piece of paper, say he's all with their pink slippers. You're going to go to jail unless you call those Nike Reeboks. And they forced him to lie. Right? Isn't that funny? I think that's hilarious. They said, well, you have to agree that that you simulated a legal process, but he didn't. And I think that he had to take that plea. I don't think that they found it, if they were backing up and coming with 12 additional charges against him, some of those may or may not hold water at all. There could be, he could have, who knows what agreements you go into when you do business with the corporate state of Texas, when you get a license to act as a corporation. Well, we're all, what do they call those? 14th Amendment corporations. Right. And that brings us into the envelopes, right? So we go along. Doc goes ahead and he takes his plea and he gets his sentence, and Susie comes up, and then they go through the macerations of finding another court date and arguing about the documents and getting access to the server. They reset a date, which will be September the 1st on Tuesday. So we're going to be going ahead, and this time it's going to be in the afternoon. I forgot the actual time, but we'll get it out to you soon enough. But we were getting ready to end it, and tell me about the envelopes, Frankie. Tell me how that went down in your memory.
Okay, so what I witnessed, I witnessed Susie earlier with these manila envelopes, and I'm like, ooh, what's that, And so anyway, she wants to present them to the court and to the prosecutor, but her lawyer doesn't want anything to do with it. She even makes it clear to the court that she doesn't want anything to do with it. She does not want to even touch them, to hand them over to the prosecutor, right? Mm-hmm. Because as here in America, allegedly you can participate in your own defense, allegedly, and so she's there trying to do that, and these documents contain information that, from what I can understand, and I might be a little off, but from what I understand, it proves that the Susie Kamek standing before them, flesh and blood, is not the Susie Kamek that these charges are against. And almost like this is what she's willing to agree to pay and take care of, or who the prosecutor has to take up their grievance with. And it's not her, the flesh and blood entity, it's the 14th Amendment Susie Kamek that they... Right.
What they like to refer to as the straw man a lot of times. I think... Go ahead.
And so, yeah, it was kind of interesting to watch that exchange between those two. And, there's some other stuff in there, too, that is quite interesting. And I don't feel comfortable talking about it all because I'm not fully conscious of the whole master plan, and so I'm not, going to speculate on what I believe the plan is.
Man, so, I get lost when I deal with the sovereign...
free man on land.
Yeah, because I believe in a lot of those things, right? But I don't believe a lot of those things, and I don't know what to believe, and I know that it works for some, doesn't work for the other. People usually that ask for money are going to put you in jail. And that's kind of sad. A lot of people will tell you they're going to make you free. But yeah, that's what I got from those envelopes. They said that Susie Kamek is not, it is free. She's sovereign. And so now we have statutory law being attacked by, not attacked. Well, how do we do it? 2 14th Amendment citizens. Well, actually, technically, Susie has declared herself non-14th Amendment citizens. File a common law process against 14th Amendment citizens in the corporate United States of America. The corporate, statutory law system goes ahead and comes after a 14th Amendment citizen, Dr. David Krupa, and Susie Kamek, one that has freed herself from the system, and I guess that's something that needs to be argued. And so the statutory law system is trying to get jurisdiction and punish and, whatever, create money and whatever they're doing. So we're in so many different areas. It's like crazy. No wonder everybody's shivering and shaking in their boots. The prosecutor needs to have this victory because it's a common law versus statutory law type thing. If Susie proves that document is an actual official legal document, well, that's as good as the corporate state of Texas saying that the Republic of Texas still exists as a governmental body.
Right, and they can't have that.
No, kind of big.
Yeah, and so, but see, and something else too that not a lot of people realize that this case is being presented on the law that the corporate Texas government created, especially for the Republic of Texas, from my understanding.
Right. That's McLaren's law, Richard McLaren. They went ahead and they made a whole law so they could take him down. Right.
They made a whole law so they could take down egomaniac, who was in the process of a warrant and an arrest being made for him by the Republic of Texas.
Yeah, as far as the macerations, and I'm going to stop using that word. What McLaren was doing is a different thing. The Republic of Texas was coming back into existence in the 90s, and I think that Richard McLaren made a strange decision to try to monetize this or get money from the corporate United States of America, and they made a paper warrant or whatever, a paper terrorist law. And they went after him, and now they turned around, and in 2015, they fired that bullet right back at Dr. David Krupa and Susie Kamek. David Krupa doesn't have a choice but to actually, plead guilty, even though he's not guilty. But Susie Kamek won't do that. She doesn't have anything to lose. They're already coming after everything. She's already versed in the procedures and the process, and just being in the courts. So it's going to be interesting as they have to deal with the yellow envelopes. Man, I can't wait to see how this starts next time.
Yeah, and it's funny that you use that term, the paper wars and the paper terrorism, because that. Didn't you hear that term being used by one of the prosecutors, I guess, aides or partner or whatever?
That was the state attorney's criminal prosecutor. I believe his name was, maybe it was Bruce. I can't remember his name right now. You can find it out. It's the district attorney of Texas has a criminal prosecutor. He was sitting right behind me, and at one time they were talking about the envelopes, and one of the pages or whatever. So let me paint the lay of the land again. Inside the courtroom, there was a dozen people from the Republic of Texas. We were like all scattered out, and I was sitting in the back left corner of the whole thing, and behind me was the criminal prosecutor for the district attorney of the state of Texas, the corporate state of Texas, of course. And on the right-hand side was, a couple of I believe they're lawyers' assistants or legal assistants, and they could have been actual lawyers. They were sitting behind the prosecutor last time, but he had, I guess, moved them to the back of the room, and so was the aide of the criminal prosecutor of the state of Texas. So they were all kind of like in the back right-hand corner sitting there. There was nobody else in the room except for Republic of Texas and State of Texas employees. So that was kind of curious, and you could hear conversations with everybody. And as they move around, you could, everybody's being quiet just to hear stuff. And when he came she came out with those pieces of, the yellow envelopes. I'm just going like, really? So we're leveling up, right? We're not just going to argue that Texas exists, the Republic of Texas is real, and those are real documents. We're going to actually say that Susie Kamek is in control of Susie Kamek, the 14th Amendment creation of the corporate United States of America. Now I'm confused, Frankie. This stuff just hurts my head.
Oh, yeah, no, it'd be quite exhausting. I remember sitting down, and because we got being members of, Texians, we know Susie, we know Doc on a different level than someone who's just reading about the articles about the Republic. We know all the members, well, not all the members, but we know a lot of the members of the Republic a lot differently than what people read about when the Valentine's Day raid happened, So, but we got to see those documents, the same documents that the court got presented. And, yeah, it was hard to follow a lot of it. But it's, like I said, it's a good sideways tactic. It's like the state probably did expect something of this nature, and but I don't think they expected the person wielding it to have such determination and time and support behind her in these documents and in these papers. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out on the 1st of September, and I want to say it's like 1 o'clock, 1:30 or something like that, because her lawyer had some other case in some other county that she has to do that morning, so they scheduled it for the afternoon. And so yeah, I'm curious to see what happens after a month of them getting a chance to look at these documents and decide what they want to do. Is the corporate entity known as Texas going to allow this type of game to be played, or are they going to just
create another statute? Right,
yeah,
go after them as the paper warrior attack.
Right.
They're like, oh yeah, paper terrorist, get the big pen out of his hand, throw him in prison or something like that. It's like, man, I can't wait to hear what happens. Do we go another month without having an event? Did those yellow envelopes create a whole new event? It might have, that might be a new case, but it also could be, the end of this case. You never know. That's what they were supposedly going to do. They were going to give the avenue of, this change of jurisdiction or something like that and release the case so it doesn't actually have to exist, which would be okay for the corporate state of Texas because they can't lose this one. They can't lose it, right? Losing it is the worst thing that they can do because it validates the Republic of Texas. It says that their legal documents are legal documents. And, I'll tell you, they are legal documents. They're documents that were issued by a duly elected official of the Republic of Texas in the 19th Congress of the Republic of Texas. We're actually in the 19th Congress. We're about to hit the 20th Congress, and we should be touching on that at some point here, Frankie. But what else do we need to cover with the story?
Let's see. We talked about.
I have a feeling we've dealt with it enough this week, but I would like to say that we're having a little bit of problems with funding Susie Kamek and Dr. David Krupa. Tom O'Halloran spent a long time putting together a GoFundMe, and unfortunately it's received $300 worth of donations since it was actually made. This morning I went on to the GoFundMe. You can actually find it by going to thetexasrepublic.com and scroll down and you'll see the RT Legal Fund. Now currently the RT Legal Fund is set up to fund people in the Republic of Texas, and Susie and Doc Krupa are, the main source. But it's not working right now. Hang on, let's talk a little bit more about that when I get back. Quick little break.
Recent events have shown just how vulnerable we are to deadly viruses, bacteria, and fungus. These diseases are all caused by infectious pathogens that often get the upper hand on conventional medical treatments. Now more than ever, there's a great need for a product that will help protect us. Look no further. Supernatural Silver can provide immune system support to help fight off these deadly pathogens. Supernatural Silver is a new and vastly improved type of silver solution that's safe and extremely effective against 143 types of bacteria, both forms of viruses, mold, and yeast. Supernatural Silver can be taken orally or used topically and can be used in a nebulizer or vaporizer for inhalation. With over 180 scientific studies by independent universities, hospitals, and research institutions, Supernatural Silver is a powerful weapon against disease. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code SILVER2014 for 20% off your entire order. Give you and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
There are many water filters to choose from, but there is only one system that is consistently customer rated 5 stars as the #1 system for effective filtration of fluoride, radiation, drug residues, heavy metals, a wide range of radioisotopes, and more. Introducing the Pure Effect Ultra, the next generation water filter that also raises alkaline pH, improves antioxidant potential, and has advanced anti-radiation technology, all while using no electricity. Sold worldwide, it provides virtually instant clean water on demand. It is not made in China, and the shipping is free to all 50 states. Buy your Pure Effect Ultra today by visiting PureEffectFilters.com. or call 888-891-4821. Again, that's 888-891-4821. Or visit PureEffectFilters.com.
Hi, my name is David Merlin from TakeFromCaesar.us. Income is defined in the tax code. All property is a cost, including labor, according to statute. You're deprived of the provisions of Section 83 whenever you pay an income tax on your compensation. According to Section 83, only the excess over the amount paid is gross income. The government can't so much as provide an interpretation of Section 83 of its own. Get your paradigm shift and understanding today at TakeFromCaesar.us.
Did you know there are 3 million edible food plants on Earth, and none have the nutritional value of the hemp plant? HempUSA.org offers you hemp protein powder. It does not contain chemicals or THC, is non-GMO, and is 100% gluten-free. Hemp protein powder burns fat, builds muscle, contains 53% protein, and feeds the body the nutrients it needs. Call 888-910-4367 and see what our powder, seeds, and oil can do for you. Only at HempUSA.org.
Okay, welcome back. This is the Republic of Texas Radio. I'm Steve O'Brien. I've got my guest Frankie Nieto on the line. We were just going through the Dr. David Krupa and Susie Kamek case that came out of the Valentine's Day raid. And to sum it all up, we're at the pretrial, and what happened was Dr. David Krupa was forced to, plead guilty to something that he was innocent of, or, but they don't see it that way, and it's okay if he tells them that he's guilty, even though it'd be hard to prove that. At least I do believe. And Susie brought out a 25-pound bombshell, and let's just see how that works out, so... Anyways, if you missed it, go back. There's the archive, republicbroadcasting.org. And let's segue to, yesterday. Hey, you didn't make it to the meeting either, did you?
No, I sure didn't, man.
I put a couple phone calls in to try to figure out what the heck happened over at the meeting, and they went ahead and they re-met in Tomball, Texas. This is going to be the last time it's held in Tomball, at least for a minute or two. The last 3 weeks, the Republic of Texas has been using that. They used to use Bryan, Texas, quite often, the VFW state post, but after the raid, that kind of went south, and Bryan was it was a good place for them to meet because it was in the middle of everywhere, and everybody got to drive an equal distance. And I don't know if it means everybody or everybody gets to drive. All I know is they sit there and they take Fredericksburg and they move 4 hours away, and that's how far I have to drive. And that's how they schedule this kind of stuff. But they met in Tomball. And they had more people than last time and a lot of new people, and that was really good. I was told that a lot of the focus was on, discourse between some of the new people and their thoughts about, how the Republic of Texas should be reaching out to a younger crowd and doing this and that. And I hear that a lot, Frankie. Don't you? I mean, how many times have you heard that?
Oh, yeah, I hear that a lot, but, I've actually,
what does that mean?
Just saying it. Well, if you were to gather the members of the Republic right now that are sitting, stateswomen, and statesmen, if you got the representatives and you got them together, you put them together if we made a government picture right now, you'd see that the majority of the gentlemen and gentle ladies that are a part of this group are, let's say, I'm thinking I'm being generous here, but let's say they're from 50 and up in their age.
Okay.
So I guess what they want is some of the wrong Paulites, the guys that came around, I don't know if they're reaching for the millennials, if they mean that much younger.
I've heard that before.
You're
right outside the millennial scope, right?
Right. I'm Generation Nothing, as we found out on one show before. I'm Generation Nothing. And which is cool because that means I'm free. And anyway.
Yeah, totally. No, I got an email from one of the RT folks going, look at these millennials. We should be targeting them. I'm all, man, you can't even get out of your own way. It's like, how are you going to target these people? You have a different, the way that, I don't know how you target these people because they're off on their own tear. The millennials themselves are concerned with, I don't know. Maybe trying to get enough money to pay the bills, to pay for their cell phone, get out of mom's place, try to find a career, finding out that the government's taken so much. There's a lot of apathy in there. It's a tough world. It's a lot different than the baby boomers or, all these other generations had. The thought of owning a house, if you're a millennial, you might as well just get over it, right?
Well, yeah, and if, I think, in fact, since we're talking about this, I want to say it was a CBS or NBC, and they were talking about millennials and how the millennial generation is really wary of commitment, and buying a house is a big commitment. They grew up in the time of watching the house bubble explode, watching their parents either lose their house or staying up all night trying to figure out how they're going to keep their house.
Mm-hmm.
So for a lot of these people that are coming to fruition, coming to age, and you're talking about a demographic too, also that has not really exercised their political strength yet. We're still feeling the effects of the baby boomer generation and, the generation after, in between.
Okay, long segment coming up. Here we go. Let's go into the commercials. Bottom of the hour, second hour. I'm Steve O'Brien. You're listening to the Republic of Texas Radio with Frankie Nieto. Hang on.
You are tuned in to the Republic Broadcasting Network. Visit our website by going to republicbroadcasting.org.
The IRS is a private corporation, not a government agency. Income tax is collected by voluntary compliance. To learn to unvolunteer or discontinue volunteering into the IRS, visit escapeharassment.com and immediately implement Strategy 1. The process must be repeated each and every time. Paper, letter, envelope, presentment, etc. Always and forever. Failure equates to acceptance, subsequent resultant contract, and you pay or go to jail by your own consent and agreement contract. Avoid recontracting. Visit escapeharassment.com and implement Strategy 1 immediately. Bar lawyers and accountants won't help you. Why wait? Get Strategy 1 and immediately implement it to divorce the IRS today and forever. That's escapeharassment.com Strategy 1 to be free from the IRS. EscapeHarassment.com.
Has your dancing and romancing done gone away? Are you moaning and a-groaning from the stresses of the day? Are you reeling and appealing because a headache's on the way? Well, relax for just a moment. Stress relief is on the way. Of what am I speaking, you ask? The essential oils of long historic use, the wisdom of the ages, the health care of the ancients, frankincense, myrrh, hyssop, and hundreds of others too numerous to mention. What could be more appealing? Do you know that Young Living Essential Oils is an element of life that makes them extremely effective in body rejuvenation? This element is called vibration, and it works with body systems, not against them. The professionals at Divine Living Oils have tested and been so impressed with this product that we are using them to help others. And who are we? We are health professionals with many years' experience. Trust us, we have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. Our motto? Because we care about you. Do your health and spirit a great favor. Call us at 304-542-4226. That's 304-542-4226. Again, that's 304-542-4226.
Did you know there are 3 million edible food plants on Earth, and none have the nutritional value of the hemp plant? HempUSA.org offers you hemp protein powder. It does not contain chemicals or THC, is non-GMO, and is 100% gluten-free. Hemp protein powder burns fat, builds muscle, contains 53% protein, and feeds the body the nutrients it needs. Call 888-910-4367 and see what our powder, seeds, and oil can do for you. Only at HempUSA.org.
Come to Finca Baiano, a small community in Panama, which is being established for people who believe that a future crisis may be difficult to survive in North America after a collapse of the system. Go to bugoutpanama.com for more information. There is limited space for 100 people only. Go to bugoutpanama.com to immigrate as long as you can. Prepare. Don't despair at bugoutpanama.com.
Dr. Joel Wallach, author of the famous health lecture, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, presents his newest book, Epigenetics. Epigenetics is required reading for the very survival of Americans, and yes, all of humanity. Modern man has bet on the wrong horse to save them from disease and pestilence. The medical system has failed us fearfully. Join the health revolution. Buy Epigenetics today and receive a free membership to purchase all the products that Dr. Joel Wallach formulated at wholesale prices and receive a free CD of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. All this for only $25 plus shipping and handling. Call 888-311-4311. That's 888-311-4311. Again, that's just $25 plus shipping and handling. And you'll receive the new book, Epigenetics, a free membership, and a free CD of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Call 888-311-4311. That's 888-311-4311.
Okay, welcome back. You're listening to the Republic of Texas Radio. I'm your host, Steve O'Brien. And I got Frankie Nieto on the line with me, and we were talking about yesterday at the monthly Republic of Texas meeting that happens at the second Saturday of every month. The best way to actually find out when the next meeting is go to thetexasrepublic.com. You can see where the next meeting is. It hasn't been updated as of today, but I do know what's going on next month. But let's finish this conversation about how in the meeting they spent some time talking about how to bring younger people into the mix. And I've thought about that, and I think you've thought about that too, Frankie. But in the end, I've seen this group. They call the millennials, whoa, and they're all sophisticated. They have their little rectangles, and they have their fixed gear bicycles, and they have strange dress habits and behaviors, and they won't commit to anything. Maybe they'll commit to a 2-year contract with Verizon or whatever, T-Mobile. They don't like Sprint, but whatever. They want to target this group, and I thought it was a good vector at one point, but then now I'm kind of coming to the point that they're useless. They don't care. Why would I want somebody that doesn't care? Do I want to make somebody that doesn't care? Am I getting this wrong, Frankie? Am I just being angry that I don't see a lot of those people actually caring about freedom and liberty?
Okay, well, I can't speak if you're wrong whether or not millennials care about freedom and liberty. Because, like we said, only history is going to be able to tell whether or not that millennial generation cared anything about personal liberty and freedom. And me not being a part of it, I don't know. The few people that I know that are quote unquote millennials, they care about freedom and liberty. But they also did not have the average upbringing of most millennials either. So there is that. But millennials could do, a younger generation could do a lot more for the Republic. It can do good for any group when you think about it. Mm-hmm. That's why right now the Republican Party is all trying to reach out to youth, trying to reach out to minorities. What's his name? Rand Paul started his own Instagram account or he signed up for Snapchat. So now you can Snapchat with Rand Paul, which is, I have no idea. That shows my age, right, what Snapchat is. But from what I understand, you have a conversation with individuals with a set of pictures. I don't know. I might be totally wrong. The people that I know that use it, they use it for hooking up and sending nude pictures of each other. So.
Okay, so they have Instagram accounts, so you can go after them with media. I also think that, I think I might be a little bit too harsh saying they all don't care. Maybe there are other reasons, and I'm just reacting badly to, this constant talking about, let's get the millennials in there, blah, blah, blah. Because I see people that are, trying to make a difference. And, I myself, coming as a former Ron Pauler from, 2008, going forward, that's where I kind of got to the awareness that things are wrong. Really wrong, and we need to change them. Before that, I was clueless. I didn't have, any hope. But I don't see anybody making a difference. Now, when we talk about the Republic of Texas, we talk about a governmental organization that exists within occupied territories, the occupied territories of the corporate United States, the corporate Texas. And so they're kind of like flailing on the wind, and they have a House of Representatives and the Senate. And, you could participate in this, and you just go to thetexasrepublic.com. You can find out information. You're currently running for a House seat, and but I don't think that the governments aren't sexy, or maybe they are, and you have to deal with a lot of bull stuff.
Ooh, good catch. Yeah, no, there definitely is. There is a lot of bull that is going to take place. But to touch back real quick on the whole bringing in younger blood or even bringing in the millennials, you would see a lot of you would have to see a lot of fundamental core things change within the or the government of the Republic, because right now there is nobody really representing that mindset and area. Like, you still have a lot of people that are part of that, like that letter or that article you read earlier, that are part of the greatest generation ever. Well, you can't leave Texas. Texas is
stands for America.
Yeah, that whole stuff. The statist aspect of it. But yeah, I'll be running for a House Representative seat, and for what is known to this date as Travis County in the Republic of Texas, because all the counties have not been declared because there's not enough. Constitutionally, there is not enough. Citizens of the Republic, or Texians within the counties that exist to declare individual counties, such as the counties that the Texas state is made up of right now.
I hate using that word citizen, because, the 14th Amendment citizen thing just makes it feel like poison every time that I hear it.
Right. Yeah.
But anyways, declared Texians, we can do whatever, call them citizens. But yeah, I think that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, so the election takes place in September. So anyone who is listening right now and wants to become, I don't think you can, though.
Well, not yet.
No, but you can go to the thetexasrepublic.com, and you can get the form to fill out to become a Texian. Mm-hmm. And then if your county or your district is not represented, or if there's a vacancy in what county you're living in right now, you can apply for a governmental position. And there is constitutional measures where the executive branch can appoint someone and issue a special writ of election. And so a election can be held, and then you can be actually an elected official of the republic. See, this time around, I've been a member, because there is a time period you have to be a member of the recognized Texian citizens for, I think it's an X amount of months. I don't think it's really years. But, yeah, and then you can...
I'm not too aware of time limits on that. Generally speaking, once you're a declared representative, yeah, maybe I'm a little bit off on that, but I think you can take a House position or a Senate. Senate might be a little bit different. You have to be a resident of the county for X amount of time. So if you as a Texian move to another county, you have to do 6 months or a year in that county before, running for that spot. And I think that's one of the only limits. But anybody interested in becoming a Texan, you just go to thetexasrepublic.com and you can file an affidavit of citizenship, and that puts you and say that, well, hey, I live here in Texas. There's all sorts of different things that are going on with Texas independence, and the Republic of Texas, of course, is not the only group that's working towards this. Like I said earlier, the Freedom Texas folks were out and about when you talking to the Tea Partiers, talking to them about secession, or talking to the people that were talking to the Tea Partiers. It gets confusing. But we're all talking about freedom and independence for Texas because it's important. And I never thought that I'd have so much news to cover and just, can I actually talk about all this? Man, I'm going to forget like half of the things I need to talk about and drag us on to little rabbit trails. But, hey, Frankie, I saved this for you to tell you about, on the show. Hey, you know where the next Republic of Texas meeting is going to be held?
No, I do not, but can I venture a guess? And I'm praying that it is here in Fredericksburg.
Nah, it's not. But I have plans to try to drag him in over here, too. What if I said it was in Cleburne, Texas?
I would say, where is Cleveland? Or what did you say? Cleburne?
Cleburne.
Cleburne.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy name, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I've never been to Cleburne, Texas, and, why would I care about Cleburne, Texas? Well, I do know that the Freedom Texas folks, they have their meeting every month on the first Tuesday of the month in Cleburne, Texas. They have a strong showing, usually about 60-some-odd people. It can balloon up, I believe up to 200. So the Republic of Texas will be meeting in Cleburne, Texas on the second Saturday of next month in September. I believe, let's see, what kind of a date do we got for that? Bing, bang, boom. That would be Saturday, the 12th. Yeah, so the Republic of Texas will be in the home territory of Freedom Texas, and we'll be able to see some of those folks and, chat with them. It'll be a very interesting event.
Yeah, that's great, though, because, like you've touched on it a few times. You touched on it in the beginning of your show. We need to lay down the whole the idea that this way's the right way, that way's the right way. We all want the end goal is for each individual person of for right now, each individual person of the state of Texas to be free, for the nation of Texas to once again be free. There's no reason why we can't go at every possible angle and vector to accomplish that goal. Because there's no sense in saying, because, if you go the militia route and the whole coup route and throwing everything out violently, chances are it's not going to work out. You can, even though people will argue, and I feel it already, argue that, no nation has ever been free without declaring, or no nation or people has ever been free without a violent revolution. That's great. I would love to be the first one then.
Yeah, we're gonna try. And yeah, guys, I haven't been giving out the call-in number, but if you are calling in, Pat in Texas, I think we can bring you on and see what's going on. Hey, Pat in Texas, are you there?
Hi, you got my attention with the millennials and Rand Paul.
Okay. What do you think about that?
I'll give you a reason, okay?
Uh-huh.
In the past, you guys were co-opted with money, okay? Money doesn't talk in Texas.
Okay.
Look at okay. It just, I've seen it not work. Real Texans don't care about it. The fake ones will probably leave, okay?
Okay.
But, the millennials don't have enough money to co-opt y'all. Whatever happened to that Arthur Griesacker that came in with money and co-opted them before?
I would probably say, Pat, when we talk about the money and the millennials, and I understand where Frankie was coming from, saying that he knows a couple millennials that are stand up. And I understand that. But I think most millennials, we don't have enough money to get them into the camp of free taxes.
Get up there. Listen, invite the media. Because when you get a bad column like Bud Kennedy here in Fort Worth, that's almost like a calling card for you must have something going on. You hear me? Publicity is publicity. You don't have publicity.
Oh, yeah, no, I would totally agree with you, Miss Pat, that we don't have enough awareness. Not enough people are aware of who we are.
Well, there you go. That's what you do. You invite all the media to these meetings. You don't know where they are in Cleveland, whatever. And you invite them. And then you probably won't have your infighting you were talking about before, because it's ridiculous. Nobody wants to go here infighting. And the other thing, somehow you went to the UN. Really?
I know.
UN? Oh, come on. So it was so co-opted that it almost went out of existence. And until I heard Bud Kennedy's column, I didn't even know you existed anymore. Okay? And I don't know where he got it either. I'm not friends with him, but my husband has invited him to my 12 meetings, and he has come. So, once.
Oh, that's great.
But anyway, that you need to think about. They can't co-opt you. And why are you running down T-Mobile? Aren't they the ones that don't hold telephone conversations at all?
Well, I really don't care too much for any of the corporations, right? I've dealt with.
Have some kind of telephone service.
I've been the cell phone. I'm a technical guy, so I know all these phone companies. And, I do know some things about cell phones, but I don't want to distract our conversation with that. I think it's interesting that you feel that communicating to the millennials and trying to figure out how to communicate to the millennials.
I've been to Rand Paul meetings, and I hear them. I hear what they shout about. I mean, Ron Paul meetings. And I hear what they shout about. And it's not just legalizing marijuana or they need another drink at the bar, okay? They know the issues. Of course, you're going to have adults in there, too, and they're the leaders sometimes.
Now, are you talking about Rand Paul or Ron Paul meetings?
Well, it was Ron Paul that I went to. I don't know if he's been around here.
Yeah, I know.
But I know he has followers. Come on. I mean, when you talk to him, I think he speaks for the people. I do think Rand Paul is speaking for the people. Now, whether the Republicans go for him, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, Texas is Texas, and the rest of them are the rest of them. We know that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And it isn't because of Ron Paul being from Texas either. It's not that. He could be from Iowa, and it'd still be for him, okay? But the thing is that he could form a fourth party if you want to get into the politics of it, and that would really screw up whatever his name is, Mr. Casino. That would screw him up, right?
Oh, that's such a dog and pony show. My God.
But you did good about not talking about guns. That was, Jesus, when they told Jesus to get a sword, they didn't intend to cut anybody's ear off. It was just to scare them away. When Jesus told his people to get a sword, he was leaving. Sell your coat and buy a sword. And they did, but he didn't intend them to cut the Roman's ear off. Okay? And I've seen the Republic of Texas documents for the court trial. It's about 3 feet tall with a Bible sitting on the top. Okay? If it's on the top, you got to go by it, right? You don't let any corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth unless you want to have the Christians say, I can't let my kids hear them talk. Okay?
Okay. Well, I got to say, we don't support neither the Republic of Texas, the Texas Nationals, or Freedom Texas, and I'm not speaking for any one of those three groups, but I do know they're all peaceful, and this isn't about a violent revolution. It's not about guns. Nobody's talking about that. We're talking about the whole fact that it's time. It's time to be free. And how do we get there? And you make a good point about the Ron Paulers and such. Hey, Pat, thanks for your call. Hey, Frankie, thank you for joining us. I'm going to close out the last segment myself. I want to talk a little bit about the Republic of Texas and RBN. Be right back, folks.
Extendivite really works. Here is what people are saying.
Heart problems were in my family, and I did notice these chest pains occasionally. I decided to try it, and I don't think I'm going to stop for quite a while. Nothing has worked as well as this product has promised to. I've taken, supplements and that sort of thing, and never really noticed a difference.
Well, I turned 60, and when I went into the doctor to get my reports, the lady at the desk, she looked at it. She says, "Wow." I says, "What's that say?" So she came back and looked at my last check. She says, "Well, you've gone down half on your cholesterol." So she says, "I guess don't do a thing, only what you're doing right now."
To get your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
Dr. Joel Wallach, author of the famous health lecture Dead Doctors Don't Lie, presents his newest book, Epigenetics. Epigenetics is required reading for the very survival of Americans, and yes, all of humanity. Modern man has bet on the wrong horse to save them from disease and pestilence. The medical system has failed us fearfully. Join the health revolution. Buy Epigenetics today and receive a free membership to purchase all the products that Dr. Joel Wallach formulated at wholesale prices and receive a free CD of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. All this for only $25 plus shipping and handling. Call 888-311-4311. That's 888-311-4311. Again, that's just $25 plus shipping and handling. And you'll receive the new book, Epigenetics, a free membership, and a free CD of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Call 888-311-4311. That's 888-311-4311.
There is only one detox product that stands out above the rest. Micro Plant Powder. And it's available only at hempusa.org. Micro Plant Powder does wonders by removing toxins from the body. Detoxification is a vital process that's extremely important for restoring your health. Micro Plant Powder is available in 8 different formulations, and we can help you choose the one that's perfect for your lifestyle. Micro Plant Powder is 100% chemical-free, non-GMO, anti-inflammatory, gluten-free, and packaged by hand in BPA-free containers. HempUSA.org wants you to be healthy, and Micro Plant Powder is one of the best ways we know to detoxify your body from head to toe, all for about $10 a month. Take back your life and enjoy living again with Micro Plant Powder. Call 888-910-4367. That's 888-910-4367. Micro Plant Powder. Available only at hempusa.org.
Okay, so we're coming around to the last segment. I only got a few minutes, so I'm going to try to make this brief and quick. But I need to let you know that you're listening to the Republic of Texas radio show on Republic Broadcasting, republicbroadcasting.org. It can be, let's say, arguably the most important thing that is out there. It has been the most important thing. I can make that case because John Stadtmiller formed Republic International back in the 90s, and, that has given birth to so much communication, so many people talking, and Republic Broadcasting needs your support desperately. You know, John Statmiller hasn't been on the air yet, you know, begging, but, you know, he will be. I hope not. You know, I hope all of his sponsors are, you know, taking care of that. But, you know, let's head that off. Call in with donations to 800-724-2719, extension 3. It's very important that we fund this thing. It changes the world. It changes Texas. It's so important, folks. Donations are greatly appreciated. Hey, I got one last caller. I'm going to give that number out, and let's see. It's Mike in South Carolina. I'm going to give you the last word here. But, guys, donations, please. Republic Broadcasting needs your money, needs your support, however you can do it. Throw $5 at it. That's all I had today. You know, I'm going to throw it at it. You know, I gave $5 to every cause that I could today. Spent $15, and, you know, I feel better for it. I'm going to call Republic back, and I'll talk to Sam. 800-724-2719, extension 3. Give what you can. Wow. Okay. Now I'm done doing that. Love you guys. Let's bring on Mike in South Carolina. What do you got for me, Mike? Can you hear me?
Yes, Steve. You come in loud and clear. You started your 2-hour program out with some history about the United States, America, and Texas. And I wanted to let you know that about 3 weeks ago in South Carolina, there was an educational meeting that produced some rather disturbing results. And that is that the teachers in the high schools, the new high school books that are coming out, are being scrubbed of any references to the Revolutionary War, to the Gettysburg Address, and to any references to Lincoln sending the blacks back to Africa after the Civil War. And by the way, the Civil War, as it was called then, was never stopped. It's still going on to today. There was no surrender that was made whatsoever in writing. So people aren't aware of it. The Civil War, as it's told, or the Northern regression, was never stopped. It's still going on to today. That battle flag, the Confederate battle flag, is a Virginia battle flag. It's not a Confederate battle flag. It's a Virginia battle flag. That's another false flag. So make sure you understand that Confederate flag is a Virginia battle flag, and it was set up to be taken down by the powers to be. You will never get America back until you get Israel out of America, and that's a fact.
You know, that's why I like callers on RBN. You have a clue about history. It's so important, and I understand they're scrubbing the history books. You know why, right? What's after America? At least, what do they think's after America, Mike?
Steve, they're trying to take their heritage. They're breaking up the families now with this homosexual nonsense. Those are nothing but perverts and predators and parasites. That's all they are. We have been taken over by a very ruthless band of banshees. I call them the Kaka Cuckoos. That's what they are. Cuckoo Kaka. Those people, we lost this country by appointment. They're appointing all their friends as gatekeepers into positions of power and authority, into politics. They must never be allowed to be in those positions ever again. That's how you have to get them out. The Supreme Court justices. Hey,
Mike, we're about out of time. Love you, man. Thanks for the call. I know it's bad. I know they're trying to screw us all, and history's different. Hang in there. Support Republic Broadcasting. Love you all. Until next week.
Life is us, my friends.
Hello, everyone. James Edwards here. Are you sick and tired of liberals and race hustlers and the media calling you a racist just because you oppose Obama's policies? Well, my friend, those days are over. After you read Racism Schmacism, you'll never again fear being called the R word. I invite you to discover why every conservative in America needs a copy of my explosive new book. Racism Schmacism has received much critical acclaim and will equip you with the key to unlock their socio-political nuclear bomb once and for all. Order your copy today by visiting the official website of the Political Cesspool radio program, thepoliticalcesspool.org. Proceeds of each sale go to help keeping our award-winning show on the air, and they make great gifts for your conservative friend or family member. Buy Racism Schmacism today at www.thepoliticalcesspool.org.
You're listening to Republic Broadcasting Network, because you can handle the truth.